Hey, Gary Hoover here, and this is my program CityCraft, and this is just a very quick example of how fast you can do something. I'm not going to give a full tutorial, that'll come later. The program works, you build buildings on a city block, and then later you can add those blocks together, put more of them in, and build a bigger thing called a city. But we're just going to work in a block right now. I am going to create a new block. I'm going to give it a name. So I'll just call it example. Doesn't matter. Could have called it anything. I think it automatically names it if you don't. And what I do here, and this is the screen name is always up here. It's called block plan. In a block plan, I design the footprint of the building. So, if we're just going to do a skyscraper, a rectangle, and I can make it any size I want. This whole thing here is 1,000 feet by 1,000 feet, so that's a lot of space. And there I put a building, and I'm going to call it just quick type sky. Okay, so that's its footprint, and I could do all kinds of shapes. I can do curves. There's a million things you can do here. Anyway, then the key buttons you want to have access to all the time, they'll show up in this top bar. And where you want to go next, usually in a normal flow, is down here in the lower right. Other places you might go in the program are over here. So next thing is building heights, because we've said, okay, that's what it looks like on the ground. How tall is it? So the first thing that comes up when I click, it'll have a red outline on it if it doesn't have a height yet. First thing is, where is the height of its bottom? Well, 0 is ground, so it should pretty much always be 0. And the reason you have to say yes, make it 0, is because later you can add tops to these buildings, and you could have it start on the top and go up from there so that you can build real complex structures. So, okay, and then how tall? Doesn't matter. 100 feet, that's what, 10 stories, 7 or 8 stories. Okay, now it's no longer red, it's got a height. And now I go to block 3D view. And this is my block, and there's that big old building right where we saw it. Mouse wheel zooms in and out. Right click anywhere to move the picture. Um, Left click is orbiting, rotating, all that jazz. And you can put it anywhere you want. Look at it from the bottom, which is a little weird, but all the sides are there. Okay, so we have this building, and I didn't really make it a skyscraper. Let's go back to building heights and leave it at 0 for the bottom. Let's make it 500 feet high because it's a pretty big, wide building. Okay, and now kind of higher. Now I can click on any of these faces. I can rotate that sucker around. I can click on anything. So let's just click on a face, and see it's got a shadow because I have shading on. I can turn that off, turn it on. Buildings can also, the windows light up at night, that wouldn't apply here yet. We don't have any windows or anything. Okay, now on these faces, on this thing, there's a million things you can do. Well, one of the things I always start first is these are all these little things you can do. It's called ground surface, and a bunch of choices here. But if I just say grass, there's a bunch of options, a lot of drop down lists in the program. You could make it asphalt or whatever. So I made it grass. That just makes it look a little nicer. Now I click on one of these sides, and what I'm going to use this time, and all these little panels can be collapsed. I'm going to go down to what's called an architectural face. And again, that has a huge number of options in here. I'm going to use regular windows. Now you can see up here, I can put that on a single face. So I could rotate it and put something different. I can even take my own pictures and put them on there. There's all kinds of stuff all in this. But I'm going to wrap this level, which means all the way around on those faces. I could wrap the entire building, which would also wrap the roof, but I don't really want to put windows on the roof. So I've got it wrap this level, apply the surface, and we got windows. And here on the top, maybe just make it a solid black. Now, if I don't like that color, I can click on it, and I've got a complete color picker here. Well, let's give it a bright red top. Okay, so there we got the building. And there you got a skyscraper. So it's really that simple. Needless to say, you can get far more complex than this, and there are videos showing amazing big cities I built. If you keep moving on through it, just real quickly here. You could load that block, you can add streets and all that kind of jazz, but that's your very, very quick tutorial on how to do a quick skyscraper.